What's good, y'all? It's your boy Third Degree. We're back with more Ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So let's go. Kicking it off, Barack Obama's Presidential Center opens on Juneteenth. That's right. Same day me and Jess gonna tie the knot. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we in the same mind frame, bro. I get it. I get it. Salute. All right, moving on. Well, if you remember, I was having a fit on the show about Max Crosby being traded to the Baltimore Ravens, but it looks like the Baltimore Ravens had to change their heart and send them back to the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was going on. Maybe they seen that maybe the Raiders are about to get Hickerson or whatever that dude's name is, and said, nah, we'll give you back your old machine. We'll take the new one. You know what I'm saying? But what a bunch of cowards. But I'm glad to see Max back in the Raider jersey. Hopefully he stays Raider like he says he does want to. But who knows? Moving on. Hey, I think this is going to be a topic. New study shows that men ages 25 to 35 who feel like time is running out report some of the highest stress levels. This will be a great topic. You know what I'm saying? So we'll run it back. Moving on. Compton woman arrested at Miami airport with 36 pounds of weed in her luggage while heading to London, where marijuana is 2 to 3 times more expensive. She was dreaming about getting paid, but she didn't understand about customs. Crazy. Moving on. Jesse Jackson Jr. said, "Don't bring your politics to my father's services." Moving on. It's been reported that a prison guard Googled Jeffrey Epstein minutes before his body was found, made mysterious deposit before unaliving or self-unaliving. That's really suspicious right there. All right, moving on. It's been reported that a crazy woman was taken into custody after allegedly firing shots into Rihanna's home while she was inside. You know, I can only imagine with her kids and how scary that is, man, and how unsafe it is, or how unsafe she may feel being in LA. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully that woman gets thrown underneath the bus, you know what I'm saying? Or underneath the jail, I should say. But hey, moving on. Houston influencer Brandon Sims and his whole family sentenced to prison after pleading guilty to operating a $12 million Medicaid fraud scheme. Dummies. Moving on. March 9th was the anniversary of the passing of the Notorious Big. R.I.P. Yep, moving on. Woman goes viral after smiling with ex post-divorce and giving him full custody. Quote, "He's a single mom now," end quote. I guess she just wants to live her best life and just be an Instagram thought. But hey, what do we know? Moving on. Well, maybe the kid is better off. Now we can move on. A man confronts women wearing bonnets at a hotel breakfast. Quote, "Y'all should be ashamed," end quote. This has caused a lot of stir or a lot of comments on my page that when we talked about this. So this will be maybe a good topic we bring up later, or we may talk about it after post Ratchet news. But should people mind their own business, or should women take more decorum with how they dress? I wear my wave cap at the hotel breakfasts. I don't really give a fuck. But hey, that's just me. Moving on. Kelly Price is saying, "I was the only artist judge on Sunday Best that wasn't effing someone else's spouse, fornicating, or messing with kids and boys." Who is she talking about? Moving on. Angela Stanton King says she's tired of federal government cracking down on nonviolent offenders while powerful, corrupt people walk free. Go ahead, sister. Moving on. T.I. says women in Atlanta are very difficult to deal with. Quote, "I met a girl today and she's already asked me to pay her bills," end quote. No, he's very true. That's happened to me even as a Z-list celebrity. But tip, ain't you married, bruh? Ain't you beefing with 50 over your wife? But you on different levels than I am, so I don't know. Let me go back to minding my business. Moving on. Democratic governor vetoes Charlie Kirk memorial license plate in Arizona. Salute, Queen, salute. Moving on. Snoop Dogg honors Tupac Shakur with 2 of America's most wanted wine. And you know what? What a way to celebrate. Speaking of Pac, Keefe D's lawyer withdraws from Tupac unaliving case. Man, I guess he's trying to say that there's something wrong with the retainer. But I do know that him and RJ, the guy who I know from Tupac Cover Up, kind of got into it, or he screwed over RJ. So maybe RJ taketh away. He took his ball and went home. He didn't pay that retainer. Keefe D need to go ahead and just take a plea with his dumb ass. Anyway, moving on. Ed Martin, outspoken Justice Department lawyer, is formally accused of ethical violations. Good for him. Moving on. In a way to get back at being petty, Raiders trade Geno Smith back to the Jets. Man, the place where he started out his ash career. Anyway, moving on. Megan Thee Stallion and Bia feud continues and heat up act across social media. You know, what I think Meg using, you know, Cardi B disses and Bia using Nicki disses, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, but whatever. Moving on. New report reveals 70 suspected modern lynchings in Deep South. Man, this is crazy, man. This is what they wanted to make America great again, right? That's what they meant. Moving on. Adina Howard says entanglement with Brandy and Wanye Morris ended her career. Like, wow. Do we need a Lifetime movie for this? Man, I would like to know. I would like more details. All right, but moving on. Influencer ordered to pay $10 million for falsely accusing professor of unaliving, as she should have to pay. All right, moving on. Compton Zone, NWA, Death Row Aftermath. Dr. Dre's officially a billionaire. I mean, he was years ago, but now it's official, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dr. Dre, you know, a family friend, you know what I'm saying, of ours, you know what I mean? So I'm more than happy, more than elated, and this is well deserved. Moving on. They're saying men are ready to fly to Indonesia after seeing how women on this island welcome lonely tourists. I guess apparently there's more women than there is men, because a lot of the men go off to sea or just don't return. So any man that comes into that, they're flocking to them like flies to ish. Crazy. And look how they trapping them too. Look, you know what I'm saying? Look at it. Wow. All right, y'all, moving on. Yo, it's being reported that Janet Jackson is reportedly upset about after screening the new Michael movie, and Jermaine Jackson calls her out, says that she's insanely jealous, and she was calling out the makeup and all this and highly critical, but did not want to get involved. So this is going to be a topic maybe next week that we're going to talk on, because it's a hot thing. Like, why can't you just support, man? You know what I mean? But maybe she's entitled to feel how she wants to feel about it. But hey, because of this drama, I bought my IMAX ticket. I can't wait to see. Hopefully it's good, but we'll see. All right, moving on. Former Michigan football head coach Sharon Moore, officially charges are dropped after judge ruled that his mistress was not a victim of stalking after evidence was presented in court. He was set up and cops withheld evidence. That's because he was playing in that snow. You know what I'm saying, man? But sadly, his career's over now. Or is it? We'll talk about it later. Stephen A. Smith calls out Kamala Harris for "I told you so" remarks. If I see that lady speaking in our face one more time talking about "she told us so," it's pissing me off, end quote. I just take it you don't like black women, Stephen A. Smith. You don't like them at all. Because she's right. She told you so. And you dumbasses, especially you, wanted to vote for this orange Cheeto looking sucker. Hey, will you get what you get, man? All right, moving on. Dr. Jamal Bryant ends nationwide Target boycott. The pastor says the campaign reached its goal, but other organizers say they will continue to boycott. Bro, you don't represent us. You don't speak for me. You don't represent. Who elected this dude to be my representative of my black voice? I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, because it's being said that Target boycott ends with no DEI wins. What do you? Come on, man. He don't represent us and he don't speak for us. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on. Dr. Umar Johnson starts a new movement called DAFA, Descendants of African Freedmen in America, to counter the ADOS and FBA movement. Like, why? Moving on. I mean, as if we need more confusion. Like, what's his beef? You know what I mean? What's his beef? I don't know. Can we all just get along? Moving on. Candy Burris and Todd Tucker reached a divorce settlement after months of courtroom drama. Good for them. Moving on. Kevin Hart gets honored with his own statue, solidifying and acknowledging his greatness. They don't look nothing like him. Moving on. Dwight Howard's retiring. Good for him. I think it was needed at this point. With all the antics and drama he got going, just call it a career. Moving on. A new photo of R.Kelly from prison surfaces. Man, it's sad, man. Sad. Moving on. Drake, this is Kendrick Lamar and Serena Williams and new leak song. Like, why you wait so long to do it, bro? Like, why now? All right, you're talking about, you know, all in your feelings still. You really defining the definition of light skin. All right, that's just my 3 cents. Can't catch a break, Drake. Moving on. Ohio Treasurer Hunter, who refused to tell authorities where he stashed $50 million in gold, released from prison. He said, I'm taking this with me wherever I go. I ain't mad at you. Moving on. Biggie Smalls' daughter opens up a steakhouse, a Caribbean-style steakhouse called Big Papa's, man. So that sounds dope. Can't wait to check it out. All right, moving on. Jilly from Philly about to get X-rated up in her show. She reveals that her 2026 tour will have a complete, strict no cell phone policy. So some wild things about to take place. I feel like I might need to get a ticket. All right, moving on. Yo, a man punches his girlfriend after he turns down his marriage proposal and end up in custody. Last but not least, Texas tractor stop turns tense as teen pleads while officer arrests his mother. We about to talk about this tonight. All right, that's all I got. Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and And that's been your rap.